time the scope is fluffing up.
Yeah.
Cleaning and being all cute.
Cute. She's cute. First, grandma. She's hiding her leg from me.
Bring you to the table.
Nah.
Fair enough.
It's okay, Steve. We saw you.
She's peeing up a storm, for sure.
Hopefully it's clear.
It is. She's being fed the right way.
At least you're not holding her by the bill. We won't even go there, will we?
No, we won't. Got a report of a bird in Rock Hill just yesterday, and I'm trying to decide what to do.
Oh. Well, I heard he's been pretty sick.
He has been, and I don't know the last time he banded a winter hummingbird, quite frankly.
I'll just wipe it off. It's fine.
Yeah, this is, I haven't looked at her bill yet, but I have a suspicion she's a hatchier female. So her tail isn't gonna be as characteristic as it might be a year from now.
Here's a girl.
Yes.
Is there that line, or did I just not see it?
I'm not sure what you saw. Maybe just, I don't know what you saw.
I don't know.
Faint lines at about 30%. Most of the grooving on her bill has worn off, but that's not a huge surprise because this is a bird that's probably been out and about since May, maybe early June. So their bills will wear smooth. She's, yeah, she's what I would call immature. She's not reached her first birthday yet. And, you know, you get a hint of that from the number of feathers in the gorget. With these birds, it's kind of like young male ruby throats. You can get a hint of that from the fact that she's only so far got 1, 2, 6, 7, maybe 8 feathers in the gorget with some tipping, some orange, some rufusy tipping. But
some sites that usually the immatures have a green base to the tail feathers.
No, I'll show you. She should.
Yeah.
She's got a lot of rufous, but that'll get more extensive. Yeah, the tail feathers will change in terms of the pattern.
Look at that.
Jeez.
Not a happy camper.
She's being nice and patient, actually. Rufous in the undertail coverts is always going to be Selasphorus. That's one thing. If you see a summer ruby throat that's got some color in the flanks, that's often hatchier ruby throats will have color in the flanks. It can be anything from a pinky color to a rufusy color, but it's this color in the undertail coverts is something that you can see fairly easily. And if you see rufous under the tail, even if you can't see it in the folded tail, which in her case, you can't, it's not that apparent.
Right.
But the undertail coverts definitely give away the fact that she's a Selasphorus.
She's definitely molting a little bit, at least in body.
She probably is. These young birds seem to do a limited fall and winter molt. She'll swap out everything in January, February before she migrates. Yeah, I've been seeing quite a few of the photos that I've gotten have shown Selasphorus. Yeah, in fact, she's done some wing molting. You can see the difference in the darker blackish inner primaries and the browner outer primaries that are more worn and faded. So she's molting wing feathers right now. So another kind of tip to me that she's a hatchier bird still. They won't start till January. Yeah, neither of the gals we caught at our last location are molting wing feathers, or molting really anything yet, because they're both adults. So when you're figuring out Rufus versus Allens, there are a number of things you take into consideration, as well as the R2, the shape of R2, and one of them is just sheer size. This female is just way too big to be in Allen's territory. I know. It's all relative. Let's check her for mold. For mold, you can put down wing. And belly. I still have to weigh her too. And head.
She got fat on her?
No. I wouldn't expect to see fat on this bird unless she was in migratory mode. So if she's one that begins migration in January, she'll start getting fat in January. But otherwise, she's going to be lean, mean, fighting machine.
So what are the chances she hangs around?
I wish I could tell you what the odds are. I wish I could tell you.
First of all, we have to get
3.35.
We have to get
Past today,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I don't think she's been settled here for a while, so she's almost certainly not going to go anywhere today. She may not use that feeder a whole lot, but she's got options. She'll use the other feeders. And it's being a warm day, it's not a day where she would be really using the feeders much anyway for the next few hours anyhow.
Now
You
you
gotta put
asked
color.
if she ever goes to the Oriole feeders.
You gotta put color.
Yes, I am.
But would she go to the jelly?
Probably not. She might experiment with it, but she's not. No, she's not going to feed on the
Because
jelly.
my summer hummingbirds go to melted jelly.
Yeah, odds are she's. Her tail is it's pretty ratty.
That's when I noticed it when my spread tail shot.
Yeah, it's pretty ratty.
R1 both were.
And her R2 doesn't have the distinctive nipple really at all. Her R2 is this feather where my thumb is, right here. The all green one's R1. This one is R2. And there's only sort of a hint of a bite out of it, and that's very typical for hatchier birds. They just don't have the distinctive nipple that the adults do. So if we were going on that alone, we would think, oh wow, maybe she's an Allen's. Well, no, she's not. She's way too big. And also, if I were to measure this outer tail feather here, you'd find that it was too wide, this outer one. So that's why
I love
you have to look at the big picture.
Yeah.
Definitely have to look at the big picture.
How much have you tried to take a picture of
That
little tail? Yeah, I only got like.
But you know, I've had photos that, like, Kevin got a good picture of a female up in the mountains of her and managed to get her tail, so that I could tell because she's an adult that she definitely is a rufous. But it's hard to get. It's hard, as Martina knows. Even when you're trying or not trying, it's hard to get a picture of a spread tail on these guys. You have to either have a very fast shutter speed and get them in flight with their tail flared or something. But it's very hard to do. When they're sitting, they are going to have that tail bunched up. So it's going to be a very lucky shot to be able to actually see the tail.
I've learned that scopes are always a good thing when it comes to Rufus/Allens, because if you can find their little perch that they like to hang out, you know.
Yeah, that's helpful.
The calliope up in Virginia right now has his one little twig that's the spot.
So where's the black chin?
There are two actually. There's one in Greensboro that I haven't gotten to yet, a male, and female in Apex, downtown Apex.
Oh,
Right
you
next
could
door
get
to the
that one too
police,
for you.
right next to the police department.
Oh,
Same people that had a rufus for 7 winters. Didn't have hummingbird last year. They were very sad about that, but now they've got this black chinned and they're thrilled to pieces. So next year she'll have more dots in her throat. She'll have more extensive rufus on her face and on her flanks and in her tail. But she's already a very pretty bird.
Yeah, she is.
Very pretty bird.
I like how she's deciding to keep that tail spread.
And now she's cussing at me. The last thing we're going to do is we're going to give her a dot of orange paint, because I typically do that in this winter. The way things are going, you could end up with a second hummingbird here. So this orange dot will confirm her identity, at least for a while, until that wears off. Orange is already off. Ready to go. Can you open that? Loosened. Apparently not.
That's high tech there.
Tell ya, longleaf pine needles are the best paintbrushes, and they do come at a very good price.
Oh wow, I'll know that when I see it.
Yeah. But the way these birds move around, you know, this paint doesn't last as long as you might think, you know, but it'll last for a little while anyhow. So we've had several people with more than one rufous this winter. Yeah, Dwayne, we had someone in the mountains that had 3 also. We've had several people with 2. So, all right, I'm gonna give you a drink from the feeder that's by the car. Unless you put it back.
Where's Len right now? Lucy's cycling.
Can't believe he did that over this. Oh, shush.
These birds have been hungry this morning. Good sign.
She just said, let me go.
Okay, so Lucy gets to do the honors.
Yep.
I'm gonna see if I can do slow-mo.